Hola a todos, bienvenidos a los apuntes de jugar y preferir. By the end of the day, you will be able to say what people prefer to play. So as a warm-up, let's do some stem changing review with jugar and with preferir. Let's start out with jugar. So jugar means to play. And look out, because jugar is a U to UE stem changer. That means every time we have this U, we're going to change it to a UE. But remember, that stem change only happens in our boot. So we're going to draw our stem changing boot and get started. Our very first step is to look at our ending of jugar. Jugar is an AR verb, so that will give us our AR endings of o, as, a, amos, ice, on. Then we take the stem and we write that. We have jug on every single verb. So I'm just gonna copy that onto all of my perspectives real quick. But also note that it's a stem changer, which means every single place in our stem changing boot we need to change the stem. So we're going to replace this U with a U, E, and I'm going to run out of room. So I'm just going to rewrite them, giving us juego, juegas, juega. But we do not change nosotros, we do not change vosotros, because they are outside of our stem changing boot. So we end with juegan. So yo juego, tú juegas, él juega, nosotros jugamos, vosotros jugáis, y ellos juegan. Let's follow those same rules with preferir. Preferir means to prefer. And preferir is an E to IE stem changer. Remember with stem changers, so you always change the one after the ending. Let's start at the end. Preferir is an IR verb that will give us the endings o, es, imos, is, en. And then it's a stem changer, so we're always going to change the syllable right before the ending. Because it's an E to IE verb, let's write ourselves a little reminder that this E will be changing to an IE. And finally, we need to only change the verbs in our boot. So we draw our boot on our conjugation chart, and we're going to do that stem change as we write them. So that gives us yo prefiero, tú prefieres, él prefiere, nosotros preferimos, vosotros preferís, y finalmente ellos prefieren. Awesome. If you want to, you can squish your endings together a little bit so that they form one big ol' word. Or if you are struggling like I am and you say, you know what, that's good enough, then it can be good enough. Now, a heads up, jugar means to play. So you use jugar for sports. Also, you say jugar and then the name of the sport, which we'll see plenty of examples later. So remember to include this right here. However, if you're talking about music, if you're playing music, if you're playing a musical instrument, that's going to be tocar. So just a heads up, we will not be doing music in this unit. Okay, awesome. Now, go ahead and complete the following activities from your Avancemos textbook. You're going to put your jugar and your preferir knowledge to play. The very first one asks you to fill out a paragraph. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and then I'll let you get your work done. So the very first step is to go into your book, open it up, and take a screenshot. I already did that, so now I'm going to go into my photos, and I'm going to find my photo. Here it is. and then I'll share and I'll send it to Notability. And I want to add it to the note I already have. So I add to this note, select import, and then I head back to my Notability. Now, if I go all the way to the bottom, then I will find, oh, there it is way down there. So I need to use the T, like the text tool, and I tap on it, and then I select it, hold it down, and drag it all the way up here to where my fifth activity is. And then now I have 2 extra pages for doodling space. Anyway, so I still have my T tool up there, and I select my image and I move it over, stretch it big, and there we go. So now, instead of having to just write numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, I can fill in the blank, and now I have them in context, and that's much, much cooler. Okay, so now here's your paragraph. Go ahead and replace each of these numbers with a conjugation of jugar, to say what people play. So pause this video, and then we will check your work. Got it? Here we go. Okay, so this says, mi familia practica muchos deportes. My family practices a lot of sports. Yo juego al béisbol en un equipo. I play baseball in a team. Mi hermano juega también. My brother plays as well. Él y mi hermana juegan, because that's like ellos. We have 2 of them. This is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them. Juegan al voleibol los sábados. Mis padres, we're still talking about 2 people here, so it gives us juegan mucho al tenis. Ellos, still ellos, gives us juegan casi todos los días. So my parents play tennis a lot. They play almost every day. Nosotros no jugamos. That's nosotros gives us jugamos. Nosotros no jugamos al fútbol americano, pero lo miramos en la televisión. So we don't play it, but we watch it on TV. ¿Y tú? ¿A qué deportes tú? What sports do you play? ¿A qué deportes juegas tú? Haha, there you go. Now for this next one, we have an audio file for you to listen to. So you'll pause your Edpuzzle and tap on this, use this finger tool up here to select that and tap on the link, and it'll send you into your Schoology course to listen to the audio file that was also attached to this assignment. And then you'll complete each sentence to say what these people play. So pause the video, write sentences, answer questions, and then we'll check your work. Okay, here we go. Elena juega al fútbol. Elena plays soccer. Número 2. Rogelio y José juegan al voleibol. They play volleyball. El equipo juega al béisbol. The team plays baseball. This one is often kind of confusing because a team represents a lot of people, right? That's how teams work. You have multiple players on one team. However, it doesn't say they play baseball. The team is a collective noun. It's one thing. So that's why it's juega instead of juegan. Los maestros juegan al básquetbol. The teachers, that's they, that's ellos, so they play basketball. Tomás juega al fútbol americano. He plays American football. Y la atleta juega al tenis. The athlete plays tennis. For your second to last activity, read Actividad 8 en Dónde juegas and ask a friend. Ask a friend where they play their sports. Finally, write down your responses and complete sentences below. So add a period to the end of the sentence real quick. There we go. There might be multiple correct answers. So write down your sentence and here we go. Número 1. Yo juego al voleibol en una cancha o en la playa. So you can say you play volleyball on a court. You can also say you play it on the beach. That's totally fine. Even if you said yo juego en el gimnasio, play in the gym, that's also great. Número 2. Yo juego el fútbol americano en un campo o en un estadio. Maybe you play in a football stadium, probably on the field. 3. Yo juego el fútbol en un campo o en un estadio. You probably play in a field. Maybe you play in a stadium. Maybe you play in the beach with your friends. I don't know. Maybe that would be fun. Okay. Número 4. Yo juego al béisbol en un campo o en un estadio. You play baseball probably on a field, maybe in a stadium. Quizás juegas en un parque. Maybe you play in a park. Yo juego al tenis en una cancha. You play tennis in a court. That's kind of your only option. Y finalmente, yo juego al básquetbol en una cancha o en un gimnasio. So you're playing basketball on a court or maybe in a gym. Or there's a court in your gym. Amazing. All right. And finally, you will read this. Before you go ahead and read this paragraph. There's actually 3 paragraphs about what Isabel and Mario prefer to do. And then use this as an example to write what you and a friend like to do and what you like to do together. To show you how this works, let's break apart their example. First, introduce them with their name. Just like we have me llamo Isabel, mi amigo se llama Mario, and then she doesn't re-say the names, so you don't have to include that part if you don't want to. That doesn't really make sense. Próximo, el deporte. ¿Qué deporte juegas? What do you prefer to play? So she says, yo prefiero, él prefiere, y nosotros preferimos. But also notice she continues to expand on her ideas later. Pues en yo juego y él juega, that kind of thing. Right? So she does expand on their ideas. Próximo, tenemos la comida. So prefiero comer, le gustan, prefiere comer, preferimos comer. So we're still using a wide variety of verbs here. Prefiero, prefiere, but also le gusta y como. Y finalmente, ¿qué haces después de la escuela? ¿Qué prefieres hacer después de la escuela? She says, yo prefiero, él prefiere, nosotros preferimos. And it's great fun. Right? So make sure you include a variety of verbs and have a fantastic time writing your paragraph. Remember to submit it when you're done and to review your vocab on Quizlet. Adios!